He put it down with the Smash Down Bronx all the way to Inglewood, California. DJ Duvall, so I'm looking forward to it tonight.
I'm Michael Reel, and this is ReelUrbanNews.com. We're in the heart of Hollywood, California, here at the Roosevelt Hotel. It is here that I speak exclusively with renowned DJ Kid Capri about his career, his influence, and his lasting legacy in hip-hop music and pop culture. Kid Capri, thank you for being with ReelUrbanNews.com.
Thank you for having me, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
Welcome to the West Coast. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. Oh, every time, man. Every time I come out, I have a good time, man.
Mm-hmm. What's it like touring the country?
Well, I've been doing it for so long. I've been everywhere. It's beautiful, man. To know that people want to come and see you. You know, people even care about your career. They appreciate the talent that you have. You know, every time you go out into one of them shows and all the people are there that pay that money, that depend on you to make sure that they feel better than they did before they got there. You know, that's a big responsibility, and when you're in that position, it's a blessing to have. A lot of people every day strive every day to try to get in that type of position. You know, and sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it don't work out, but the hope, as long as you have the hope there for you, you know, you always have that in the corner.
You mentioned the word responsibility. You have been responsible at this level for a couple of decades now.
Yeah.
What's that like?
You know what? I sit down and think about it sometimes, and it amazes me, man, because I did it when it was nothing. When there was no money, it was nothing. We just did it because we just loved music. We just loved DJing. We just loved everything about it. And when I got a chance to, you know, get something out of it, I got a chance to see what it really could bring. It brought a lot of different colors, a lot of different things, you know. And when I look at it to where it's at right now, for what I did with it, you know, it just amazes me how far it came. At one time, they looked at DJs as it was just somebody playing music, playing records, and I never wanted to be looked at like that. I always wanted to be looked at as an artist, so I had to make sure that my stage show was always top shelf and able to compete with the platinum artists that made the records. And even when I started making my records, you know, my main focus wasn't my records. My main focus was my DJing, my stage show and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just worked out good, man, and I'm just happy that it's turning out the way it is, because DJing is the purest form of the music business. You know, there's no BS in DJing. There's no, you know, it is what it is. You either play the good music or you don't. There's no real publicity stunt. There's no record company that you have to deal with. You are who you are, and they have to come to you.
When did you know that you were Kid Capri? Take us back to the Bronx.
Well, first, when the girl gave me the name, Olga Carter gave me the name. She was 13, I was 12 years old. She said, "Kid Capri sound like a good name for a DJ. You should try it." And I did that. The next day I went and got me a sweatshirt, put Kid Capri on the sweatshirt, and that's who I was. And then a few months later, she was killed by a stray bullet that shot off the wall, hit her in the chest. And you know, that was crazy, because she was one of the main girls in our circle in the neighborhood, and for her to be so young, and she was a fine-looking young lady. She was 13 years old, looked better than any grown woman on the block, but she was 13. And when the bullet hit her, you know, it was just amazing that happened at that time. We was all young kids, so, you know, it was like a shock. And I ended up keeping the name, and it just took me, and it was a blessing that I kept in there. I didn't know what the name meant at the time, but it definitely was something that contributed to what I was trying to do.
But she had the insight to give you a lasting name.
It was crazy. We were standing on a line going in class. I'll never forget. It was Miss Grant's class in room 6304. And we were standing in the class, standing on the front of the class, about to go in, and she just said it out of nowhere. "You know, Kid Capri sound like a good name for a DJ. You should try it." That's how she said it. And I just looked at her. And that's how it started. Before that, I was DJ Dr. Spank. It was terrible. Yeah, but it worked out for me though. You know, the name was good. So I I took that and I was doing my little parties in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And we did that. I did that for years, and I was good at that. I was the 8-year-old DJ standing on top of a milk crate, going against all the other big 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds that was in the neighborhood, and I got better than them because my mom's had bought me a mixer that had no headphone hole. So I had to guess where all the spots on the music, on the records was at, where all the DJs had their headphones and they knew it was at. So that's what made me faster, by looking at it and just guessing it and playing it, where I had these big guys looking at me like, this little kid is amazing doing this. And I just stuck with it. All the other guys, they did different things in their life. They might have joined the service or whatever. I just stayed with it and became who I became with it.
You come from a musical background. Father was a musician, and your mom obviously supported. How important was that for you?
Incredible. Really, it started with my grandfather, because my grandfather played trumpet for Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, and Miles Davis. He was sitting in a lot of those dudes, and maybe even more Thelonious. I'm sure there's a lot more that he worked with, but those were like the principals. And you know, I still have the horn that he bought in 1940 in my house. My father, his son, he made soul records. He was the first soul singer to sing with a Latin band, or a known Latin band at the time, called the LeBron Brothers. His name is Dave Love. My name is David Love. He was the first soul singer to sing with a Latin band in the 60s, and then he went on his own and made soul records in the 70s. So I was always around the music as a little kid. I started playing drums when I was 4 years old with the big afro, and you know, I was always doing that. And when the DJing thing came around years later, I remember this dude named Joe, a guy we grew up with. You know, he was playing dice, shooting the dice against the wall, and he's going, yes, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all. Throwing the dice on the wall, and I'm looking at him. I'm a little kid looking at him. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, and he kept saying it. Yes, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all. And I'm looking at him. And then that week, that Friday, I went to a community center in Marble Hill Projects with a DJ named B Ward, Brian Ward. He was DJing, and I seen him, and I didn't dance with the girls. I ain't go to the bathroom. I ain't do nothing. I just watched him all night. And from that day on, that's when I knew what I wanted to do. Years passed. All those years passed. When it started getting known was when I started making the mixtapes. When I started with Star Child, and the mixtapes is what just started everything. I sat in that street corner. I sold them $20 a tape. Didn't know if it was going to work or not, and people just clinged to them, bought them, and they was in every car around the city. And it just got really, really crazy, to the point where I got my first radio deal, got my first album deal, first tour from the mixtape. And Russell Simmons came to one of my shows that I did after party for LL Cool J at the Garden, and he seen how I had this crowd losing it, and he asked me what I thought about, you know, being with a comedy show. So we ended up doing Def Comedy Jam, and I didn't think it was going to do good, because I didn't see the sense of comedians with what I do. Right. But who was out of question? He's Russell Simmons, is HBO. Let's go make it happen, and we did it, and it was the best move of my life.
And the rest is history.
It was the best move of my life. Mm-hmm. You know, I was with the mixtape thing, with my DJing thing, I was pretty known as strong in the inner city, and you know, like Virginia, North Carolina, the short places to go. But when that hit that box, that TV, it made people that didn't care anything about what a DJ do suddenly, you know, give a damn about it. You know, and it put me in people's living rooms every day, and it made a lot of people that wanted to do what I do be influenced. They seen that this is the first DJ on television, you know, by himself doing what he do. He don't have to have no group in front of him. You know, there's nobody to legitimize.
No background singers.
He's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I set the tone for what that show was, because you can have the comedy. Sure. It's a comedy show, but what made it so much different was you have this DJ that knows how to incorporate this certain music for that certain comic. Like, for instance, what me and Bernie Mac did. Sure. What me and Bernie Mac did, that was just a spur of the moment. That's not something we rehearsed. It was just something we did. He said, kick it. I dropped it, and it became one of the biggest things in the country. And, you know, those type of things those magical moments was things that just happened sporadically, spontaneously. You know what I'm saying? And people seen that on the television, they wanted to be that. And you know, then they heard my mixtapes, they heard me on the radio, they seen my shows, they seen me in concert on different tours, and it influenced the whole nation to try to play like me, or sound like me, or swag it like me, or make the tapes like me. And instead of me taking it as, you know, an insult, why is everybody trying to be like me? I took it as a compliment.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I took it as, you know, I was able to change people's lives. When people walk up to me and they say, yo, kid, you're the reason why I'm not killing somebody today. You're the reason why I'm not robbing somebody today. I'm not breaking into somebody's house. It's because of you I'm able to work. I could take care of my family. And, you know, when I hear that, that lets me know that I changed somebody's life, and that's bigger than money. That's bigger than making money. That's bigger than anything. If you know that you can leave a legacy when you leave this earth, that you changed the whole rack of people into doing something that they probably would have never did had they not seen you do it, that's better than gold. You know what I'm saying? So that's the position I'm in. That's the position I've been in. And the test was the longevity. How long can I keep it up?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And fortunately, I'm still here, beasting, still doing what I've been doing. Crowds see me all over the world, wherever I go. Ain't nothing changed. The performance is still the same.